Welcome to Spectrum News at 10. I am Emedion James coming to you live from Uyo. Let's take a look at today's headlines. President Tinubu condoles with Prime Minister Modi, government and people of Republic of India over the plane crash. Senate President Akpabio says democracy not gifted by military but reclaimed by Nigerians. Plus, Israel targets Iran's nuclear sites and military commanders in major attacks. Details of these stories and more in just a moment. Good morning and thank you for staying tuned. First in the news this morning is that President Bola Tinubu has extended condolences to Prime Minister Narendra Modi, the government and the people of the Republic of India following the crash of Air Indian flight A1171 near Ahmedabad. Reports say the London-bound Boeing 787-8 Dreamliner carrying two pilots, 10 cabin crew, 169 Indians, 53 Britons, 7 Portuguese, and 1 Canadian crashed at about 1 p.m. yesterday at Ahmedabad. Reacting, the Prime Minister Modi said the incident has stunned and saddened everyone, adding that Sarah Patel International Airport in Ahmedabad has been shut till further notice. Meanwhile, in a statement signed by the Special Advisor on Information Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, President Tinubu expressed deep sorrow over the tragic incident, and offered prayers for the families of the victims, the injured, and the entire Indian nation during the moment of grief. Tinubu also commiserated with the leader of Great Britain, Portugal, and Canada over losing their nationals on the ill-fated flight. He commended the swift response of the emergency agencies in India and expressed his confidence in their capacity and compassion to make a difference in the complicated situation. The president prayed that God would receive the souls of the departed and comfort their families. In the meantime, President Tinubu has reaffirmed his commitment to strengthen democracy in Nigeria, pledging to do all within his power to promote and protect democratic values. He made the promise during his State of the Nation's address at a joint session of the National Assembly in Abuja held to commemorate Democracy Day. The president, in the course of the event, conferred national honors on Kudirat Abiola, the wife of the late MKO Abiola, a former chairman of the defunct National Electoral Commission, Humphrey Nwosu, a former vice president, among others. President Tinubu also conferred the commander of the Order of the Niger Award on Nwosu and the Grand Commander of the Federal Republic on Shehu Musa Yadadua. Apart from these individuals, Tinubu honored some distinguished Nigerians, including human rights lawyer Femi Falana, Nobel laureate Wole Soyinka, and the Catholic Bishop of Sokoto Diocese, Hassan Kuka, with national awards. He also granted the national honor of Con on Uncle Sam Amuka Pemu, a legend street journalist as he marks his 90th birthday tomorrow, June the 13th. From the Red Chambers, the leadership of the National Assembly has reflected on 26 years of unbroken democratic governance and resolved to double down on the delivery of democratic dividends to Nigerians. The Senate President Godswill Akpabio and the House of Representatives Speaker Abbas Tajuddin spoke for the federal lawmakers during yesterday's joint sitting. President Bola Tinubu got a request from the lawmakers that the parliament should henceforth be used as a platform for the delivery of the State of the Nation's address. Speaker Abbas met the request while Akpabio turned it into a motion which was unanimously adopted by the lawmakers. As the lawmakers unanimously adopted the motion, Akpabio told President Tinubu to consider the request while also paying tribute to him for being the first president to deliver the State of the Nation's address to the nation through the parliament. Akpabio described President Tinubu as a symbol of democratic resistance and a veteran of Nigeria's democratic trenches, declaring that his presence at the National Assembly on June 12 was not only historic but deeply symbolic. In the meantime, the Senate has reacted to criticism that the current National Assembly is a rubber stamp to President Bola Tinubu's led executive. Of the Senate Committee on Media and Publicity, Senator Yemi Adaramodu said the current National Assembly rubber stamps everything that is in the best interest of Nigerians. Adaramodu noted that the legislative arm of government is a soft target of most Nigerians. In a separate development, the Federal Capital Territory Administration (FCTA) has announced a temporary closure of the Akpo to vehicular traffic today, June 13, 2025. This, it stated, was to facilitate the inauguration of a key infrastructure project by President Bola Tinubu. According to a press release issued by the Senior Special Assistant on Public Communications and Social Media to the FCT Minister, Lera Olayinka, the road closure would last from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. The project being inaugurated is a newly constructed left-hand surface carriageway of the Outer Southern Expressway Stage 2, stretching from Ring Road 1 junction to Wasa Junction ahead of the event. Let's move now to Africa, where the China Africa Economic Partnership for Shared Development would offer duty free access to the Chinese market to all African countries if agreed by the two sides. The measures was announced as African foreign ministers gathered in central China to review the implementation of outcomes of the Forum on China African Cooperation held last September. The initiative aims to facilitate greater market access for African exports, especially from least developed countries, and inject new momentum into China African economic ties. Chinese President Xi Jinping made this known in a congratulatory message to the ministerial meeting of coordinators on implementation of FOCSC follow up actions held in Changsha, China. On the foreign scene, Israel's military says Iran has fired about 100 drones towards its territory